the younger generation. We've got a better voice than the older generation.
It's, of course, the main man, Virgil van Dijk. This is not my dad's team. This is not Alan Shearer's team. This is our team. I'm 24 years old.
In the next couple of years, I think Salah makes that right wing spot his own. Down that hill, he'll go down as the greatest right winger Premier League history.
My mates that don't support Liverpool, they were like, why are they so excited about this guy? These are the players that Jurgen Klopp turns into superstars.
If you put an all-time Liverpool 11 together, Mo Salah's in it. That's good enough for me.
I think he's the perfect Klopp player. He's everything he asks of him and more. The way he fights for the ball, the way he presses, his interchangeability along the front three.
Yes, people, what is? How are we? Me and Ben went missing in action for a couple of weeks, but we're back, and we're back with a bang. What a show! We got, like the description says, we've got two titans of the game joining us today. We'll just get straight into it. We've got the Don with Sam. How are you, man? We've been trying to make this work for a while.
Yeah. Yes, I'm very happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me, as always. We've been trying for a while to get on the show. You get me? The timing just wasn't working out, but we're here finally, and thanks so much for having me. I'm humbled by that intro. So yeah, thank you so much, and big up to everyone on the panel as well.
Big up, man.
And we got another goat here, another man we've been trying to get on for a while. Squeeze, what are we doing? How are we, bro?
Yeah, man, good, man. It's been a minute. I think I meant to come here like a month ago or something like that. I think you tried a few times, but yeah, I'm here now, and yeah, man, I'm honored to be on here. And yeah, let's go.
Class. Big up the people in chat. We've got 10 people watching. I know Grizz, he's hijacked all his following with the Big Six show, but those coming in, those are loyal to us. Large up, Ilyas, Dow's, we know. Support your local, as they say. Ben, how we doing, bro?
I'm all good, mate. All good. Still in every competition, just about. So yeah, man, all's good.
Right, guys, we've got a few talking points today. We want to talk about the Reds, but there's a big thing I know Ben wants to drop on Barcelona. So Ben, I'm just gonna let you take it away, and I want to see some laughs in the chat.
Yeah, so obviously we want to talk about Liverpool and upcoming games, which is what's going to be the majority of this show tonight. But I think just to start off with the recent games that I've played tonight, and Barcelona are in the mud. And as a Liverpool fan, that is absolutely beautiful to see, because these guys, these crooks, forever stealing our best players. Well, try to do that now. Try and come in for Virgil van Dijk. Try and come in for Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's not going to happen. You've been knocked off your perch. You can't even get to a Europa League final. I mean, let's just rewind the clock. Klopp was doing that with the likes of Joe Allen, Martin Skrtel, players like that. Origi. I mean, no disrespect to Origi, but it is what it is. But yeah, like this is crazy. This whole new era of Xavi at Barcelona. Apparently, they're supposed to be back and all of that, and they just got absolutely smashed tonight at home to Frankfurt, which, just that, because my two favorite players, or two of my favorite players, are Coutinho and Luis Suarez. Like, they're in my top five, but maybe not Coutinho top five, but Coutinho has a special place in my heart, as everyone that knows me well enough knows. And just to see that club come in and take that away from me, this is beautiful. Just from a selfish point of view, to see them in this mess.
Mate, you hate them. For me,
make my blood boil, honestly.
You know what it is? Like, it's good to see, but I'm still seeing that young core at Barca. I saw that midfield today, which was Busquets, Gavi, and Pedri. I was like, that's a young Busquets, Xavi, and yesterday. But they've got a long time till they're back on top. So yeah, but they'll be a threat. They're a good team, but I guess mate, this season's been the season of cup teams. Like, teams just know how to play in the cups, like Villarreal, West Ham, Frankfurt. They know how to get it done, counter-attacking teams, make it hard to score against. West Ham are just bringing that I don't know what it is. They're just aerial bombardment onto the European stage, and I kind of rate it. I rate it loads. So yeah. But enough of the Europa League. I hope. I don't know. I don't really care who wins. I just want to see good football, to be honest.
To be fair, no. If West Ham win it, Hassam Spaces in the morning football wars. If you on Twitter in the morning, jump in there. If West Ham win the Europa League, it is a long day for Arsenal fans. Let me tell you.
Fact. I predicted they're gonna win it as well. I think they're gonna win it. I'm gonna be real.
I think they will win it, to be honest, because Leon just couldn't deal with them. We couldn't deal with them, to be honest, for 2 games. We got a strong 1-0 win. So yeah. But guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, whatever the box standard. We're at 10k now on the channel, and the channel's flying thanks to Grizz becoming one of the most famous men in the game. So we're gonna ride off that for a while. But yeah, none of that Europa League nonsense. We talk about big teams, big players, whatever. We don't need that. We don't need that. What I want to ask right now, people shy away from this question. They normally leave it to the end of streams. But Squeeze, on a scale of 1 to 100, how would you rate our quadruple chances right now?
I'll probably give it. I'll give it a 50-50 right now.
50-50.
Just because right now we're about to play City, so that is our chance to get it. So, and that's a 50-50 game. I think if we get past City, I think we're well on our way. I think we've got a bit of luck with their injuries. I think De Bruyne and Walker are injured, so you always need a bit of luck to win something like that. But yeah, I think right now it's 50-50. 50-50, I think with City, you just don't know what these guys will put in the bag on Saturday. So yeah, I think 50-50 is kind of fair, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think people are underestimating how big this game on Saturday is for like the whole momentum of the season, because there's a whole psychological thing as well. We saw what Chelsea did to City last year by beating them in a nothing game in the league. It made Pep overthink. If we can get to that level where Pep, we can get the edge on Pep, and we have to make him think, because right now, to be fair, after last weekend, City probably had the sort of edge on us because they probably dominated that game, and Pep's like, all right, this is the formula to play against Liverpool. So the Don, we've got, what is it, City, United, Everton. How big is this week in terms of our season?
First of all, just to answer what the question that you asked, Squeeze, I'm gonna go for probably a 15%, 20% chance. There's a reason that this quadruple has never happened in the history of English football for a good reason. And you're asking about this week, and I've always maintained, I think the reason why we won't win the quadruple is the FA Cup. If you've been supporting Liverpool for a while, you know how cursed this trophy is for us. It's just an unlucky trophy. I just don't know what it is. Lost in the semi-finals to Aston Villa, lost in the final to Chelsea. If it wasn't for Stevie, we wouldn't have beaten West Ham. You get me? We lost to Wimbledon as well once. We were supposed to actually win the quadruple in 1984, but we lost the FA Cup final. So like it's just an unlucky trophy for us. It's just a trophy that I will never back us to win. It's just that it's like an Arsenal fan backing his team to win the Champions League. You know it's not gonna happen. So like I hate the FA Cup. I think this week is massive. Man United at home, the easiest game in the season. I don't care what anyone says. We're going to absolutely smash them. I have no doubt about it whatsoever. They lost to Everton, so there is no excuses. We're going to absolutely smash them in. I'm saying 3 or 4. Everton, the same. On paper, they're derbies, they're big matches, they're rivalries. But, when I look at it just from the prism of a footballing perspective, I think it's just light work for us. I'm going to be real with you. So, Everton and Man United, we should deal with them with ease. Now, when you talk about City, it's a totally different cup of tea. It's a bit more difficult. It's going to be interesting what Klopp does. If we start Jota up front again, then I don't back us to win this game. So yeah, I'm probably going to be on the little bit of the negative side when it comes to the FA Cup. But I am predicting a Palace City final if you were to ask me to predict.
Wow.
So
Palace.
that's my prediction.
See, the thing is, if we get past City, it's very likely it's Chelsea. And Chelsea caused us enough stress this season, do you know what I mean? that Carabao Cup final, it took about 20 years off my age and about 20 centimeters of my hairline. I'm not gonna lie, it was stressful. So
ironically, I think our games against Chelsea have been harder than City for me. I think with Chelsea, we're kind of matching up, doing the same things. It's like they press, they get the ball, then we press, we get the ball. Maybe someone hooves up. It's just messy. It's a messy game, and the way they play as well, with obviously Pulisic or Werner or Havertz, whoever it is on the front line. That just makes it tougher. So if I'm honest, even if we get past City, I'm hoping that it's Palace, because I like Chelsea. Like that game in the final was just disgusting.
If we're being honest, like I know we had big chances, but Mason Mount should have had a hat trick, to be honest. Like it's just one of them. So Chelsea have that thing against us where they know how to play against us. They know how to play against our high line. Like that Lukaku decision, that's on the border. Like just stuff like that where, although it is offside, I don't care. Like you don't draw lines from a diagonal. You don't look at a line from a diagonal. You look at a line from on the line. So just when I see this, people complain about Chelsea or whatever, like getting done in the final, it's straight lines. Just deal with it. Like they're not gonna ruin it. So grow up. Ben, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Quadruple, how likely?
I've always said it's not going to happen. Like, I feel like most Liverpool fans, to be fair, have probably said it's not going to happen. I feel like all the talks coming from journalists and pundits trying to hype up the running. No one in their right mind thinks going into a season that their team's going to win 4 trophies. Like Hassam says, it's never happened in England before. So, you look at the teams that we've had, the City Centurions, the Arsenal Invincibles, United teams of the years gone by. None of them have done it. So, yeah, we can hopefully put ourselves in the categories of those teams eventually once the Klopp era is finished. But it's still, if we don't win the quad, like, I'm not bothered. As long as we win one of the big ones, Premier League, Champions League, I always say going into the season, that's it. That's the bar now, especially for this team. We've got this amazing team, the best squad we've had in my lifetime. I don't know for you guys, but to not win one now would be, in my opinion, like, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because we've already got the Carabao Cup. So if we was to win the FA Cup and that was it, so 2 trophies and a runners-up, I don't know how you'd rank that. But me personally, Premier League or Champions League, that's that's a dream come true in itself. So I'm not really bothered, to be fair. As long as we win one of the big ones, I'm okay with it. And chance-wise, I'd probably agree with Hussam, because I don't know. I just think we'll I don't know. The City game, if I was watching it at home, I'd probably agree that we're going to lose, but I'm going. So in my head, I'm all hyped up thinking we're going to win. But like City is just the one team for me, which, we only dislike them because of the domestic success they've had. Like, it's nothing like other teams that we hate. They're the team that can stop us from winning trophies at the end of the day. That's why we don't like them. So it is what it is. They're the team to stop us, and that's what they're going to try and do on Saturday. So we'll see, man. But if we do lose on Saturday, it's not the end of the world. Like, people will have all sorts of meltdowns and stuff. But as long as we're still in the race for the Champions League and the Premier League, that's all I really care about, to be fair.
No, I get that. I think I'm with you. I'm sort of for me, this is a big week. If we get through that tie on Saturday and we're in the final, we have the mental edge on City. They've got KDB and Walker out.
Oh, big points.
The momentum does sort of swing our way, and I'm sort of near squeezes 50% because I'm like, damn, like we're in a final here. Like, come on, I'm not counting my chickens already, but like, it's Villarreal. Like, they're a tough team to play, but I'd rather be playing Villarreal in a semi-final than Man City or Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? So, but we'll see. Perfect little segue away. Big up, like and subscribe to everyone on the show. Ravi, you're spot on. You're doing God's work. You're telling us, you're telling the people, you're telling all 21 people in here to like. So guys, come on. It's not hard. It's actually, we've all liked the video on YouTube before. All it is a little, it's to the 22nd person now. All you need to do is go to the bottom of this video and it's the thumbs up, not the thumbs down. thank God dislikes are gone because they'll ruin my confidence. Yeah, I want to go back to the Don. He talks about the 84 season. I think people forget we did a treble. We did Prem, Champions League, and League Cup like in the 80s.
Yep.
But I want to talk to you. I want to say, Ben, what do you think is likely, and what would you sort of be satisfied with the position we're in? Would you be satisfied with? Because I know some people would be. Some people would be satisfied with a League Cup and FA Cup double, but I know Ben wants one of the big ones. Right now, what would make you happy at the end of the season?
Me or Ben?
You.
Okay. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't care if we win League Cup, FA Cup, Club World Cup, every cup competition there is. If we do not win the Premier League or the Champions League, this season's a failure. I'm gonna just keep it honest. I don't care how far we get. I don't care about none of that stuff. Silver medals don't matter to me. I want gold medals. We have not built a squad and a team with 10 players in their prime and a young, experienced right back for us to go and win 2 cup competitions. I'm just being completely honest and objectives. We have to maintain the standards of Liverpool FC, so we don't end up being clubs like Arsenal and clubs like that who are just satisfied with the minimum. Someone's gonna come in and tell me, "Oh, I remember the this guy days," and yes, I remember the bad days. But once you've drove a Ferrari once, you're not gonna go back to wanting to drive a Honda. It's just how life goes. Listen, we have what it takes. We have the team. I would give back the Carabao Cup. I would forfeit the FA Cup if it means we win both Prem and Champs. But I won't be greedy. I think either one of them and the season is a success. That's just how I look at it. If we don't win either of them, then the season's a failure. And we could win the FA. We could play 3 FA Cups this season and win all 3 FA Cups, and it still would mean nothing compared to the Prem and the Champs. This is the time to take control. This is the time to take advantage. The teams in Europe are nowhere near as big. Up to you, Diogo. The teams in the Champions League, in my opinion, Bar City are nowhere near us. And from a footballing perspective, we are meant to beat every single one of them. And in a Champions League setting, I would back us against Manchester City. If you would ask me what I would prefer, and I know this is an unpopular opinion, I probably prefer the Champions League over the Premier League. But it has to be either Prem or the big years or the season's a failure. That's just how I look at it. Couldn't care less. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, that's just the cherry on top of the cake. If I give you a cherry without the cake, you're not going to tell me, yay, I got the cherry. You're going to go like, where's the cake? So, yeah.
It's true. That's a quality analogy, to be fair. You make a good point about Champions League over Prem. Because for me, the whole season, it was Prem. Just because that gets us to 20. And we haven't really won the Prem in front of like a packed Anfield. And that would be insane from the position we were in, really, in the league. But I was watching the comp from our Champions League win 3 years ago. And I was like, damn, I don't think any game has ever got me like that happy, that gassed about Liverpool. I don't think I've ever been on cloud 9 like I was after that. The Barca game and that was just a different feeling. I think maybe because we cruised the league, I didn't get that properly. Say we won the league with like a last minute Trent bicycle kick, that would probably send me over the edge. Do you know what I mean? But I'm gonna ask you that question. I was gonna ask you that one anyway. You had one.
I can't lie. I want that Prem as badly as because the way I see it is like obviously 20, get 20, and also when I look at the Klopp, the time that he's been here, having 2 Premier Leagues next to his name, I feel sounds a bit better than having 2 Champions Leagues. I think when you look at Klopp and Pep, I think Pep's got 3 Prems and obviously Klopp's got 1. Having and obviously Klopp and Pep have that rivalry, and obviously making it sound like 3-2 is okay, but 4 Prems to Pep and then 1 to Klopp is a bit of a matching. So yeah, man, like me personally, the way the Premier League's going as well, from being 14 points behind or something like that to being 1 point behind, I personally want that Premier League badly. Like I think I would 100% ditch Champions League FA Cup, Carabao Cup, just for the Premier League. Because when I look at history, and obviously, like, you always hear people say, "Oh, Klopp's only got one Premier League," and you kind of want a solid, like, basically, like, I just want Klopp's stuff to be printed, signed, dotted. There's nothing to talk about. Like, there's nothing to say about, oh, he's only got this and that. So, yeah, man, I think Premier League for sure, man. For me personally.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that argument, to be honest, because when people talk about Klopp, they say, "Oh, just one Premier League," like not completely ignoring the state of play, the Champions League, and the state of play, the team he picked up. If he does have that second Premier League next to his name, look, Liverpool 6 times, soon to be 7 times UCL. I agree with you. The Champions League is different, but as soon as Klopp gets that second Prem, people say, "Oh, oh my God, in the last 7 years, he's won 2 Premier Leagues." And it gives a sort of different twist to this rivalry with City, because it means City haven't won 5 or whatever in the last. Was it 4 in the last 5 or 5 in the last 6? Something ridiculous.
3 in the last
Just
5.
quickly, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry. And also, like, it's funny because I was even saying this, I think I said this on Twitter the other day, where I said how, like, if Klopp wins the Premier League this season, like, I don't think that this team has even peaked in terms of working together and, building that next squad. So I think if Klopp can win that Premier League this season, who knows, by 2024, it's very possible that he can maybe do a back-to-back or win it in his last year. Do you get what I mean? So I think in the Premier League with players like Carvalho, you got Diaz coming in, he's still fresh. You got like, we might get another midfielder, whatever. Like, we're building a squad and we're still winning, and that in itself, that's a big legacy. But I think probably Wenger maybe done it, Alex and Pep. Most managers win it with that big fat squad and then they drop off. So, yeah, man, I just think looking at the legacy that he's going to leave behind, especially if he's going to leave in 2024, I want, just for things to look as good as they can be, basically.
No, I get that. Hussam, were you about to say something?
No. That's all I want to say. Yeah.
Ben, I mean, to be fair, I've asked that question really to Hussam and Squeeze. A domestic treble would look nice because City did that, and to be honest, when you win 3, like, I'll say major, because they're bigger trophies than like the Charity Shield or the Club World Cup. That does look nice. It's that whole thing of stat padding trophies. Like, when you look, we've all done it. We go and look at a player's career. We go straight to the honors section on Wikipedia and we see how many trophies they won. And sometimes it's a bad to do it, but sometimes you look at a player and go, damn, he's won 5 leagues, 2 Champions Leagues. It could be a bang average player, and like, you think, oh damn, he's actually had a class career.
Anderson, for example.
Yeah. I want to look at Liverpool players' career in 10, 15 years time. Look back at this team and say, damn, James Milner, like, one of the most decorated English midfielders of all time. Do you know what I mean? Which is kind of true, to be fair. He's won it.
Out of all the players you could have thought of, that's the guy you want to...
Look, because, like, it's true, though, because you go, oh, Mo Salah, you'll go in 10, 20 years' time, Salah, legend, whatever, Trent, legend, whatever, and you go, oh, Milner, just like when you think about Gareth Barry, that guy won a Prem, you just don't expect it. But Ben, what was I going to ask you? I have no idea. It's actually just slipped out my mind.
Is Naby Keita overrated?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I've got a question actually along those lines. When I look at these big teams, like when they win the treble, they normally have like a settled team and they're running for like the big games. What would you say? This guy. What would you say is our best team right now? On paper, say we had a final tomorrow.
Oh, that's tough, man. I know what Klopp would want, but is that what we want? And that is, I'll go through it. This is what Klopp would do, 100%. Ali, Robbo, Verge, Matip, Trent, Fab, Hendo, Thiago, Mane, Firmino, Salah. I believe that's what they do with the front three. And we all know Henderson would start in a final. And that's what I'm saying. Is that what we would want as fans? Is that what most of the people on Twitter that I see hating on Henderson every day? Probably not. I would risk it a bit and go Carter. Definitely start him on Saturday. But then I don't know. Is that Hassan? Why are you laughing, bro? You rep Oxlade-Chamberlain. Relax.
I don't rep anyone. I rep myself, bro. I rep myself. I don't
bro,
rep anyone.
You're Oxlade-Chamberlain stan.
I'm not. I stand no one. I stand myself.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It just depends, isn't it? Like, especially on the opposition as well. Like, I think the different teams that you might think differently. I know some people don't want Diogo Jota to play against Manchester City, for example. So it's just things like that. So I don't know. Whatever he picks, though, I'm happy with. I don't think we've got a weak team, like, when everyone's available, certainly. So I don't really care.
I want to talk about the front three because this is probably the big debate at the moment. What our best front three is. I think, Salah and Mane for me are not just for Klopp, but for me, shoe-ins right now. Just they have that big match sort of experience, whatever. They've done it for years. I don't care what anyone says about Sadio Mane. This guy will constantly produce the numbers. Eventually, and he's doing it this season. He's scored like 14 in the league, scored about 17, 18 in all comps. Hussam, because for me, it's a question of style. If you have Firmino in there, you want him to be the glue. If you have Jota in there, if you have Diaz in there, you've got three like road runners up front, and you don't really have that sort of guy who links everything together. How would you go? What do you think is most effective for us right now?
I think it depends on the opposition. Me personally, I wouldn't say Mane is a shoe-in starter. I think for me the front three I would start against City would be Diaz, Firmino, and Mo. That would be my front three. Once again, the Jota thing is I thought his performance against Manchester City was absolutely dreadful. If we had Firmino up top or Mane up top and Diaz on the left, we would have won that game, in my opinion. Couldn't keep the ball, couldn't pass the ball to save his life. His link-up play was absolutely horrendous, dreadful. The passing, as I said, I have no problem with Diogo Jota. I'm not like someone who's going to just banter Jota all the time or say Jota's this, Jota's that. I've said this before, but some people just get emotional while discussing the Jota topic. I'd happily start Diogo Jota against every single team, bar Manchester City, and a team in which you need to control the football and dictate things. Maybe like a Madrid in the final, possibly, for example. I wouldn't start him. I don't have anything against him. I just think when you're playing like a team with the caliber of Manchester City, and their style, you need someone who's able to pass the football up front. You need someone who's able to be involved in a sort of fluid system, in a sort of fluid way. Technique really does matter against Manchester City. There was a counter-attack moment in the first half. All Jota had to do was to slide in Mo, and we would have been 2-1 up at the point. Firmino would have slid them in. Second half, 3v2 counter-attacking opportunity, misplaced passes, couldn't hold the ball up. So these are the things in a profile of a player that you need against the Manchester City, against the Real Madrid, someone like that. However, if you ask me who are you going to play against Man United, I'm playing Jota. Against Everton, I'm playing Jota. I'm playing him. I have no problem with him. It's just these high leverage games that you need high levels of ball retention that I wouldn't play him. For the rest of the season, I think we could rotate heavily. Mane up front as well, by the way, I wouldn't have a problem with that. So if it was Diaz, Mane, and Mo, I wouldn't have a problem with that either. That would be a very good front three for me against Manchester City. And the rest of the games, I'll just be completely honest, I don't care because I think we're just stronger than them. So the only thing that I would just discuss this much detail with is the Man City game and possibly the final if we get there, which I believe we will. But bar that, I think play whoever, any front three combination in the rest of the games, and we're good to go and we win those games.
Yeah, no, I agree. McCall makes a good point as well. Jota off the bench, he's a bagsman essentially. So this guy, he's for me, he's like our version of Dirk Kuyt. He probably just scores a few more goals. He's just someone that he's in the right place at the right time. He gets to ricochets, and sometimes you just need guys like that in your team because you can have all the like tech in the world. You can have your Diaz's, your Firminos, but sometimes you just need a guy in the right place at the right time. So for me, that's it. All right, I'm gonna move on to the Champions League. Before I get onto that, Asim, thank you, man. Thanks for the super chat. Keep up the good work, boys. YNWA. That's
Thanks,
one.
mate.
That's one step closer to quadruple because we got a super chat. Squeeze, I'm gonna ask you this. Champions League, right? We've got Villarreal. I'll put this into
Good
two
evening.
questions. We do have Mr. Good Evening, who Arsenal fans. How are you feeling? Looking at this guy dominating Europe, dominating Juventus, dominating Bayern. Look, Arteta's a great manager, but I just find it. To be fair, I still rate Arteta. I still rate Arteta over Emery in terms of what he's done for Arsenal. But I find it so funny because of just the narrative. It just pisses them off. So I'll I'll run with it. Yeah, Squeeze. I was gonna put this into two parts. How are you feeling about Villarreal? And say we did. I'm not saying we will because I hate people who do that because it's a tough game. But say we did get to the final, who would you rather play, City or Madrid?
Cool. So Villarreal, yeah. If I'm honest, we're going through personally. Yeah, like we're going through. I think obviously they're a good team. Obviously they're drilled defensively, but yeah, like we haven't struggled against any low blocks, and like they don't have a massive threat. I think Danjuma, Gerard Moreno, the Celso, but they haven't got crazy plays that can hit us on the counter attack. So it's not really a thing where I'm scared. Obviously, where I'm a bit wary, but yeah, I think we should get through. I think Bayern losing to them, it could be a blessing in disguise because I think it's happened a few times where we've drawn a team and everyone's like, "Oh, be careful." Them just going to beat them quite calmly. So yeah, I think Villarreal, good team, but they're seventh. I don't rate Emery. I rate him as obviously a cup manager, but I don't really rate him as a coach. And yeah, I think we're good there. City or Madrid, I want Madrid. I don't want to play City at all. Like after the semi-final, I just want to get rid of them because playing them in the final there's so many narratives that can literally come out. If they win, Klopp's given Pep his first Champions League since he managed Barcelona. Like and it'll be so ironic. We have been cussing the City fans the most about Pep not having a Champions League, and wouldn't it be so ironic that Klopp loses to Pep? So I wouldn't want to see under any circumstance, even though on a one-off game I probably would just about edge us, but I just wouldn't want to risk it. I think Madrid, they'll be quite easy if I'm honest again. I don't rate Madrid much. I think Ancelotti is a very poor coach if I'm honest. But yeah, I think definitely Madrid over City. I wouldn't want City under any circumstance. So yeah.
No, I'm with you there. I think playing them over one leg gives us more of a chance than over two legs right now. But before I go to you, Ben, on that Madrid thing, if we look at it realistically, Madrid for 75% of the game against PSG got outplayed. Benzema came out with, I don't know, he's got everything on his side at the moment, and fair play. He's an unbelievable footballer. Chelsea, right? The first leg, Real Madrid played well, fair enough. Mendy makes that mistake, which sort of killed that game. And then for the vast majority of the game this Tuesday, Chelsea absolutely tore Real Madrid to shreds. Real Madrid looked like they had no idea, and all it took was a bit of brilliance from Modric, who I know everyone's singing his plaudits, but up to that moment, he didn't do much. And I would fancy us more against Madrid. So, Ben, I'm going to ask you the same question. How are we feeling about Mr. Good Evening? And do we want a repeat of the 82 final, which was in Paris. I think who's it? Alan Kennedy.
Listen, when the draw was on for the quarters, I did a stream on my YouTube channel, and when we got Benfica, I celebrated. I said, we're done, we're through, whatever." And then when they did the semi-final path, so we found out it would be either Villarreal or Bayern. I said we beat either side, and Bayern are the better team of the two. So I know there's the argument where if we played Bayern, they'd be more open and their defense isn't great this season. I get that completely, but I just feel like they have far more in their attack to punish us, especially in the high line. So, yeah, Villarreal, I think I agree with Squeeze. I don't want to underestimate them, but, they've done incredibly well to get to this point. You can't underestimate them, and the players won't underestimate them, the manager won't either. So I think we're going through. I think when you're looking at this team in a semi-final of the Champions League, it's hard to see a team like Villarreal knocking us out after getting to this stage. We had such a tough group: Atleti, Porto, AC Milan, won every game, and we've just battered it ever since. And the game yesterday, 3-3 against Benfica, we managed to make 7 changes. Yes, we drew the game, but I think that's a big statement to what we've done this season. We've got the job done early, so we can make those changes. And I'm confident, man. We're going to Paris. I mean, I was looking at tickets the other day to get to Paris. They've gone up significantly, which is stupid, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, I just hope we get there because, like I said it on a space yesterday. We took 2 years out of the game. Round of 16 against Atleti. I think it was it the quarters last season, Real Madrid quarters. And then, we're back where we belong, Champions League semi-finals. I think that's the 3rd one under Klopp now. And out of Real Madrid and City, it goes without saying, I'd rather play Real Madrid. We can't be the team to let them win their first title. We cannot be. Like, I will deactivate Twitter if that happens because, honestly, I won't be able to deal with it, man. And also Real Madrid, just quickly going back to 2018, which is the worst thing you could ever do because no one wants to talk about that game. Up until Salah went off, we was in that game. It was 1-1. We were.
I thought we were the better team, to be honest.
Yeah,
up until that.
we were matching them up. A better Real Madrid team as well than what they've got now. In the final on the big stage, we were doing well. We were holding our own, and we had Lovren at the back and other players. Karius, obviously, he did what he did, but up until Salah went off, we were fine. And last season obviously wasn't really a fair test because the players we had available then. So it would be nice to kind of finish this whole saga with Real Madrid with a Champions League trophy for us. So I would be more confident against Real Madrid as well. Can't lie.
Yeah. I just want to run through a couple comments. Raul Albiol going to hate. At the end of the day, I think Villarreal is a game for a Thiago Keita monster class. For me, that against that low block is perfect. I was watching the Bayern game and Bayern were toothless. I'm not going to lie. There were opportunities there just to absolutely carve Villarreal open, and they were sort of scared. Like Sane was taking about 5 touches on the ball. Paul, I'm an imbecile, to be fair. I have some rogue opinions, but I respect it. Thanks for the comment, mate. We are talking. To be honest, that's what the show's about. We're just young men who talk bollocks, so I rate it. But to be fair, we got the Don and we got Squeeze on to up the up the intellect. Me and Ben are.
Lucky this is on Grizz's channel because I won't say anything. But you've said that on the space, boy.
I don't care, to be honest. That's a great way to like this video, people, because some people just don't like us, but I like us, so I'm sure all 36 of you like us. So
his name's Paul. Is probably like 45, man.
I want to hear. Can I just say one thing on the Madrid thing quickly?
Go on. Yeah.
I think you guys are crazy. I'm gonna be real with you. In a Champions League setting, I would much rather play Manchester City. I would much rather play Manchester City.
No, I get
and
it.
I would
completely.
back us all the way to beat them. I believe in football heritage. I just do. I think I would back us to beat both. But I'd be more confident against Man City. You guys are more worried about the trolls on Twitter saying you let Pep do this, you let Pep do that. But in a Champions League setting, I'm supposed to be afraid of City. I'm not afraid of nothing to do with Manchester City. We smash them.
I hear what you're saying. Look, I hear what you're saying, yeah. But the way I see it is that, like, and obviously, if we're being honest, Champions League heritage did take Real Real Madrid through when they beat
Thank
Chelsea.
you.
I'm saying, and obviously they do know how to win. But for me personally, I think the pain will hurt less if it's Real Madrid than.
But why are you worried about the pain? Why are you not worried about the happiness when you lift it?
And plus, I think I've watched quite a bit of Real Madrid, and obviously I know they turn into a different animal in the Champions League. But let's not forget that the last season they got battered by Chelsea, and if we're honest, if football takes its course, we should beat them quite comfortably. Do you know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying, but yeah, like I just wouldn't want to play City. City is a no-go for me. And obviously, you can also say that City are due a Champions League. If we're looking at they're gonna win soon. Like, let's be honest, they're gonna win one.
They're gonna win it when Pep leaves. When Pep's there, they're just not gonna win it. I believe the moment Pep leaves, the next season they're gonna win the Champions League. Wait and see, it's gonna happen. But they're not gonna win it under Pep. In a Champions League setting, you would rather play 14-time Champions League winner.
I don't want C.
I know. Listen, what you're saying is correct. What you're saying is correct from a footballing perspective. But if you believe in heritage, like me, in a Champions League setting, when before the game, the champions is played, I would much rather play City. I would much rather play City in that setting.
Fair enough.
If you were to ask me a one-off game in a different competition, agreed, Madrid. But in the Champions League, no, I'm choosing City all the way through.
Fair enough.
And we hammer them if that happens, by the way.
I hear, but first I want to say shout out to the young, I've bottled that. Shout out to the main man for smashing 10k on the channel, Grizz. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for dragging all the views from the big six here. Arjun, we've had him on the show before. Champions League Chelsea fan, Champions League heritage did not take them through against Chelsea, lol. It did, because you destroyed them. But it's that whole Real Madrid thing. It is a thing. But I feel like we're a bit biased today, boys. We're underestimating the Oppo too much. We're just confident, men. Cheers, Paul. Appreciate the like. City turn up. This is what it is. I hear both sides of the argument, but fair. I hear both sides. I hear both sides of the argument. But for me, as much as heritage plays a factor in it, sort of a revenge mindset, a sort of extra motivation. Motivation for me plays as big of a factor in matches. And for me, Man City, they've always had the sort of the edge on us, the hatred that we're the Champions League team, that they lost the Champions League final last year. They're going to be extra motivated to do it again. We saw it with ourselves. We lost to Madrid. The next year, it was all about getting that Champions League back. For me, we've still got enough players in this team that remember the 17-18 final against Madrid. And Mo Salah, more than anyone in that whole squad will want to turn up and absolutely dismantle Madrid. So for me, you've got two teams that have heritage. I guess Real Madrid, yeah, you have the storyline. You have Benzema. Oh my God, he wins the Champions League. His Ballon d'Or, he's finally got it. Whatever. But for me, if we play City, for me that sort of feels like a Premier League game again. Because Guardiola is going to sort of set them up and say, because City and Chelsea last year, that felt like to me I was watching a very important Premier League game. Because it's two Premier League sides going head to head. It didn't feel like the Champions League final. If that makes sense. City, it depends how they are. It depends what their mindset is. The Don could be right. They could just bottle it again. It might just be in their DNA. Like it's in Juventus's DNA. It's in Atletico's DNA to not win the Champions League. But for me, I'm edging to. I'd rather play Madrid. I just don't. I think give me 90 minutes against Madrid. They don't have enough time to sort of combat what we have. I think we'll be too powerful and too strong for them. Let me read it. Don is a funny guy. This is getting clipped. We need the clips. We need the clips. Get it online. Get it on Twitter. Share it and like this video, people. What Salah wants and what he would do are two different things. His record. He scored in the Champions League final, mate. What else do you want? Like, come on. I don't care. This guy, these man. I'm gonna Ben. There's mumblings. There's mumblings from City fan bases. I kind of want to bring this to the Premier League now, anyway. But Mo Salah, he is Mr. Premier League Player of the Season, right? I don't want to hear any of this Kevin De Bruyne talk or what. How do you think it's going to play out to the rest of the season? Because there's a bit of a momentum shift here.
I'll be real. He's got to look over his shoulder because Son is in scary form, like scary form right now.
They won't give it to Son.
They won't give it to Son, but the golden boot chase like could go to him. He's 3 behind, I think.
Is he?
Yeah, and Salah was like 7 or 8 clear at one point. So we've got some tougher games coming up as well. So he needs to be careful, man. He needs to get back into form. I don't know how he does it because he had the game off, well, most of the game off yesterday. So hopefully it will be this Saturday. He's going to drop an iconic performance at Wembley and then kick on from there. That's what I'm hoping. But I'll be real. I think one of the points, just jumping ahead because I've seen your notes, if Salah doesn't win it for us, who's been our best player, I'm going to say Alisson's got to be up there. I've said this and I've shouted this for so long. Alisson Becker.
It can't be goalkeeper, personally. I think it can't be a goalkeeper. I think if a goalkeeper is a player, you're in the relegation fight. Like that's for teams are in the relegation. And obviously I understand it because he has been playing very, very well.
Best Alisson I've seen.
Pardon?
It's the best Alisson I've seen.
Yeah. But I just don't think for your goalkeeper to be your best player, and let's say that we won the title. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know.
I hear what you're saying, but yeah, just on the comments
as well. It's not more strength for me.
Yeah, for us, yeah. I wasn't saying Son for PFA. Yeah. I was saying Son for Golden Boot.
He was saying Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Is there? I'll leave it to Hussam. Do you think? For me, it's going to be between Salah and KDB. Like that's the narrative right now. And to be fair, KDB, baby Gerrard, he's playing out of his skin at the moment. But like for me,
you just call KDB baby Gerrard.
Yes, 100%.
The level of disrespect to the great Steven Gerrard. Never do that.
And no. Huge respect to KDB because for me, Stevie G, he's my favorite ever footballer. He's been. For me, he's the greatest midfielder in Premier League history. I don't care. Shut up, Arjun. I know you're about to come in the comments saying, "Oh, where's his Premier League?" Shut up. But KDB, this guy he's a different level. So yeah, Don, I'll leave it to you. I want to ask you a bigger question actually, because I know you got a head soon. It's about the Premier League, the sort of title race. I'm looking at the run-ins. People are saying we have a harder run-in. How do you think it's gonna go? Because some people say it's gonna be a repeat of 18-19. I can't see that personally. I can see both teams dropping points. Because the luck both teams had in the 18-19 run, if that happens again, damn, we deserve the quadruple. Are you highlighting games for Man City as potential games they can lose? And if so, which ones?
I believe we're going to win the Premier League. I just think it's going to happen. I've been supporting Liverpool my whole life. We are the most dramatic football club in history of football. There is no bigger dramatic football club than Liverpool FC. We are just the ultimate drama central. I've said we need to stop being broadcasted on Sky Sports, BT Sports, more like Sky Drama, BT Drama. That's where we should be. So I believe we're going to win the Premier League. And also, I know this might sound crazy, but I think we have a massive chance in the Champions League. The only problem I have is with the FA Cup. But anyway, we've discussed that already. When it comes to Manchester City, I think there are 3 games that I've highlighted, and for 3 different reasons. If you're going from a footballing perspective is the hardest game for them, Wolves away would be my hardest game for Manchester City. If we're going from the storyline perspective, which one is going to be a hard game? It's going to be Aston Villa at home. Steven Gerrard wins Liverpool the league. You have that storyline. There's another game that has a bit few details involved, and that's West Ham for me. Because West Ham have actually done well against the good teams and haven't done well against the teams they're expected to beat. I think this season they've already beaten Liverpool, they've beaten Chelsea, they've beaten United, they've beaten Arsenal, they've beaten Spurs, so they've beaten all of these teams. So you might expect them to pull something out of the bag against the Champions League, against Manchester City. So these are the three games I would say City might slip up in. They still are heavy favorites, but I think we are going to win this league title, and we'll take it from there. But I think we will be Premier League champions this season. I'm confident of it. And is it going to be like 18-19? No, it won't be. I just think we'll drop points, they'll drop points. We still have Tottenham to come to Anfield.
Where do they drop points, or some? And don't say Villa because they're trash at the minute.
Three games. I just said Wolves, West Ham, and Villa. Those are the three games that they might drop points in. The other teams are just bums. They're going to be able to deal with them. So
I think Wolves is a tough one. West Ham, is that after I pray it's not after a Europa League game.
Yeah. No, it is. It's in between their games.
Are you sure?
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Because it got postponed.
What got postponed?
No, the West Ham game got postponed because they didn't. I mean, so was it the Wolves game? The Wolves game, yeah. This was the Wolves game.
Yeah, no, the West Ham one, that's annoying because
it's the FA Cup weekend. That's why it got postponed.
West Ham have a thin squad as well, so they're probably prioritizing the Europa League realistically. I mean, I would if I was them. So that's annoying. They've been, like you said, they've been unreal, especially at home against the big teams. But Squeeze, I'm gonna drop you the same question. 18,
just before Squeeze answers the question, thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna need to head out now. Literally have a stream in 4 minutes. So big up to all of you. Thank you guys so much for having me. Big up.
See you later, bro.
I'll see you guys again, man. Big up to Squeeze as well. Pleasure working with you for the first time. So see you guys, man.
See you later, bro.
Take care, man.
All right, time to grow Squeeze. Bro. Question: how do you think it's gonna pan out? And you got certain games you got an eye on.
I think Prem's ours, man. I just had this feeling. I think I can't. If I'm honest, I have the feeling about the quadruple. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think. I just can't see us losing games right now, and even against City, I think if we do lose, it will be to penalties.
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna get outplayed or. Do you get what I mean? So personally, I think I'll go out and I'll say that I think that we're gonna win the quadruple. To be honest, that's what I want. That's like a dream because I feel like if we win the quadruple, it's just like the way I think we'll probably be up there with probably the obviously the C team in 18-19, the Man United team in 2009-08. So yeah, man. Like I think for me, I think that we're gonna win it, man. Personally.
I think I'm not. I'll never say it, but look, if it happens, people won't hear the end of it. For
I don't even know what will happen. To be fair.
We need luck, and you know when we go into games nowadays, we don't even play. Sometimes we just have that sort of luck that sort of gets us over the line. Yeah,
like but getting that kind of luck with Ozzy, KDB been injured, with Walker, no injuries in our squad as well.
Yeah.
Thiago and K are cool still. Like we're getting every single piece of luck that we can get, which is why I think that we should win. And even with the draw, getting Villarreal, if we go and I think are we away first or home first? Like
home first.
Home, yeah.
Yeah, so if we go and batter them 4-0, that second game, Klopp will just rotate like crazy.
Yeah.
And then we'll be fresh for the next game. So I think everything's looking good right now. Let me say that. And everything's just looking like we can do something. But yeah, like it just depends on if the luck keeps on rolling. Because I do think that after last season, we're due something to redeem that. We came third last season. The crazy injuries. We got laughed at. Van Dijk, he's gonna come back the same and all that kind of stuff. So I just think at the very least, I think that something special, like at least a treble or just something special, like you know what I'm saying, just to put off. So yeah, man, personally I've got a really good feeling. I said it from January or Feb that we were gonna win the Premier League. Because I just felt like there's just like in terms of like looking at destiny, like looking at just the untangibles. The quadruples ours, man. But yeah,
I think to be fair, on behalf of the three of us, we're three of a very small amount of Liverpool fans that were saying we're going to win the league. We will still win the league, not win it, but we're still in a race back in December. Like for me, I'm gonna come onto the City game soon, but there's just we've probably our generation of fans have seen so much just awful football as Liverpool fans. It almost feels like finally we've got an era which we can get behind, so we might as well get behind it and enjoy it. Ben, I pray we're on 50 likes.
Mate, I ain't agreed to this week. You've stitched me up.
So, anything for the algorithm. Have you got your ball?
I haven't. No, it's not around.
Guys, I guess
we'll do it next time. I'll start the next stream with it. If you hit.
I'll get rid of that real quick. Whatever. Yeah, very good. I'm gonna move on. I just want to look at the weekend quickly as a bit of a preview. City semi-final, KDB out, Walker out. They went pretty strong and had a crazy game against Atletico yesterday. Are you more confident? How do you think it's going to play out? I'll go to you, Ben. How would you line up? I'll just do your lineup now. How do you think it's going to go?
So my lineup is pretty simple. It's Alisson, Robbo, Verge, Matip, Trent, Fabinho, Thiago, Naby, Diaz, Bobby, Salah. That's how I'd go. A lot of people today I've seen saying would play Konate. And I'm like, I rate the guy, but I don't know. I don't think he's mastered the high line yet. Like
I think Konate against United as well.
Yeah. Yeah, yesterday, the 3 goals we conceded, they weren't necessarily because we defended badly. They just beat the high line. And I think that's what happens when Virgil's not there. So I'd definitely go Matip just for the experience. And, he's been incredible this season, especially with his injuries. It's like he's a new lease of life in Matip. I don't know what's happened, but long may it continue because we're seeing how good that man is. And then with the midfield, obviously, Henderson's been under fire recently, and I get it. I don't know if he's going to drop Henderson for this. Probably not. But if it was down to me, I think Naby's done enough this season to show that in these games he can play and he can do a job. His defensive side of things this season has just gone up another level. I know people say, Atletico Madrid, whatever, but it is what it is. I think since that game, he's just elevated that side of his game to another standard. Like people just look at Naby and think he's technical and he's good going forward, but if you look at the stats as well, they back it up. Defensively, he's been one of our best players out of possession. So definitely go with Naby. I think he'd be more useful than Henderson. And then Luis Diaz, I think, speaks for itself. I think he'd cut Cancelo at Wembley. Cancelo's amazing going forward, not so great defensively. So I would definitely do that. But I wouldn't be against Mane starting. I wouldn't be against Jota starting because I know some people have their opinion on that. But like I said earlier, mate, I don't care what the lineup is. Klopp's going to pick a lineup that he thinks good enough to win the game. Just got to get behind it, whatever team he puts out.
Yeah.
But the whole De Bruyne thing, I mean, who are they going to have this time if he's out to score their deflected shot? Because that's happened twice against us this season. So yeah, they've been very lucky. They say we've been lucky, but we've scored nice goals against them at the end of the day. Like that goal we scored in the 46th minute in the last game. Like that was beautiful. Unlike what they did, just cross it in, and then the first one was a deflected shot. So it's like you take De Bruyne out of their team. I think they're very weaker. I have to say.
I want to see us play against City. In that game, we only started playing when we conceded. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same. Do you remember the 18-19 game? We only started playing when we conceded. The goal we equalised against them, if you think about it, was a mirror image of the one our first goal on Sunday. If you think about it, was a mirror image of the equaliser in 18-19. It was Trent to Robbo to Firmino, and this time it was Robbo to Trent to Jota. So I just want to see us start playing. We had a bit of shaky legs. I'm not going to lie. I think Fabinho, Henderson, especially in midfield. I think Thiago, to be fair, he got onto the ball very well when he could in that game. And we want to see a bit more from the likes of Fab and Hendo, who they've proved to be big game players, man. Like, I know Hendo's had his haters, and I don't really like that because look, he's not this player he was 2 years ago, but Jordan Henderson is still a very, very useful player for us. And even though we don't know if he gets into our best team at the moment, he's definitely in that sort of top 3-4 midfielders for me bracket in terms of importance. Because at the end of the day, he plays that right sort of central midfield role better than most in the squad. And look, you need leaders and you need people sort of rolling out. I don't know if he'll play, to be honest. I think he will play. I think you can look at what Klopp's subs were on Wednesday and kind of decipher that.
It was the same before as well when Salah and Mane went off in the 60th minute in the Champions League game before. I said like that's definitely them going to be starting against Man City. Like, and people were still debating it, and I was like, no, they will plan subs. 60th minute, they both went off. Neither of them were upset to go off, which they normally would be if they've just been taken off. So I think you're right, and I think the fact that someone just mentioned in the comments Henderson went off on 60. I think he's probably going to start.
Yeah, I want to see us play as well. I remember the City game last week, halftime. People were saying, Salah's playing awful, but we were trying to hit Salah with 40, 50-yard balls, like in the air, while he had like Cancelo and Rodri like completely surrounding him. If we play football and we can get Salah isolated, then it's a whole different game. We saw what he did in the second half when he did have that space to run. Like that deflected shot, any other game, that's either hitting Laporte's hand or it's deflecting into the far corner. So it is there, and I know he hasn't scored the goals, but I'm not too worried about his form, to be honest. I think he's still involved enough. Like yesterday, he nearly scored an unreal goal when he like took it on his right, and it went to Mane. But Squeeze, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. How do you think it's gonna go on Saturday, and how do you want us to line up?
I think Saturday will probably be a much better game for us. I think we went to City and we played like a riskier game than usual. I think we tried to play football better than usual. I think we didn't want to go long. We didn't want to be as direct as City were. So I think back four probably picks itself. Trent, Van Dijk, Matip, and Robertson. Obviously, goalkeeper is obviously Alisson. Midfield, probably will be the same midfield for City. I probably would want to see KO as well. And then I think for the front three, I probably would go personally, Salah, Firmino, and Diaz. I think I wouldn't mind Mane there, to be fair, in place of Firmino. But yeah, I just wouldn't want Jota to start personally. I think Firmino or Mane playing at centre forward, but probably would lean more to Firmino. But yeah, I think we should win. I think I would back us to win the game, so I'm not gonna come and say that we're gonna lose or whatever. But yeah, I think we should win if we just play football from the beginning. I think we need to get into the game quicker. I think in a few of the big games we've been a bit slow. I think first half against Arsenal in the semi-final, we were in fact in the Premier League, sorry, when we were for the first half we were not bad, but we weren't quite good enough. I think just try get into game from the get-go, try set pace from the get-go, and from there we see, and sort
of dominate from the start. I want to shout out the legend that is none of your business. We've got a big crowd today, but this guy, he's the OG. So if Lord Dimmock gets a winner spinning overhead scissor kick from 30 yards out, then you know the quadruple's won. So smash. Don't smash a like for me or Ben. Smash a like for Nonya because he is the GOAT fan. Declan, well done, mate. Well done for winning. I rate you more than I rated you last year, so you're doing bits for West Ham. But should we do some? For me, I'll just run through my team quickly. I think it'll be Alisson, normal back four, Matip in there. I'm gonna say what I want. I want to see Fab, Kaiser, Thiago to see how it would be against City, to see what that sort of midfield battle will be like in terms of like on the ball. I don't mind Henderson being in there. I think Henderson in there, Wembley, have his experience on the pitch. He's played City last week. Hopefully, he puts in performances we've seen him put in before. And then front three: Salah, Mane, and Firmino. That's what I want. Although I'd love to just see Diaz unleashed. Because I think they'll probably play Cancelo at right back and Diaz against Cancelo. I think Diaz, when you look at him, he has no fear, and it's just amazing. Arsham wants us to predict City's team. I honestly can't. I think Pep will rotate. He'll go with Edison. I think Ruben Diaz is fit, isn't he? Again.
I think so.
I don't know.
If because I saw him back in training. If he is fit,
was he not on the bench yesterday as well?
I think he was on the bench. Yeah, he'll go with Diaz and John Stones, who's playing out of his skin at the moment. I think Cancelo has to play at right back. It'll be Zinchenko at left back. Rodri, Gundogan, and probably Bernardo again because he's a tank. Jesus. To be fair, it's such a strong team. Foden always plays well against us, so I can see Guardiola playing him again, and Sterling was on bench, wasn't he? So Sterling will start definitely.
Yeah.
So it'll be that same front three. I think Sterling, Foden, Jesus, which caused us plenty of problems. He is fit. Thank you. Ethics, we need to bully them. There'll be bait after that long flight. I smell blood. That's the thing. It took it out, that Atletico game, even though probably playing against a low block isn't as intense, the sort of atmosphere, it drains you. That sort of fighting, it drains you, like, mentally. So, and it's on Saturday, so we should be much more fresh and much more up for it to go at City from the start and absolutely blow them out of the water. I don't like seeing us play at Wembley. I don't think we ever play well at Wembley from what I've seen. So, the last thing I want to touch on before we'll do score prediction at the end is just ask you both how you feel about this high line, because I'm seeing a lot of people saying they don't like it. How does it make you feel, Ben, this high line? Because Benfica did catch us out a bit.
Yeah, listen, I get it. I understand people's frustration, and I just don't really understand why people think it's new, to be honest, because we've been doing this for now 2 or 3 seasons. Maybe not to this extreme, but it's certainly not a new thing for us to play that high. I think the introduction with VAR and the new rules where the liners have to wait, I feel like that has made people think it's always like luck or we're getting away with it. But most of the times, and I think I saw a stat, we've caught in England in the Premier League, I think it was, teams 180 times offside this season, and I think second place was like 70, which is just nuts. And like I say, they've been trained to play this way. Obviously, like I said earlier, Konate might still need to learn a couple things about it. But when Virgil's playing, it's absolutely fine. And obviously, we know Virgil's going to play on Saturday, so I'm not bothered about it, to be fair. I think it's very clever. You have to say, like, for a team to constantly defend like that, even against the big teams, and not change the way of playing, it takes some balls to do that. Like, I've not seen it done like that before in England, to be fair. So I'm not bothered, mate. It's got us to where we are now. So yeah, long may it continue.
It's the media narrative as well. Do you know what I mean? It's the media saying, "Oh, there's this high line for Liverpool," but the Liverpool players block
It is
out.
scary, bro. It is scary.
It is scary as a fan because when that flag doesn't go up and they've got people running in, and you have to wait for that line, and you're like, "Oh, that looks tight." But look, it's got us to two semi-finals, a Carabao Cup win, and a Premier League title race. So who are we to complain? Like, I think Jurgen, this is his best season like of management. With like the way he's used the squad, it helps having a big squad like we do now. But the way he's used the squad, everything. Squeeze, how do you feel about the Highline? Are you comfortable with it?
Yeah, I'm cool with it, to be fair. I think at the beginning of the season, I think when we drew a few games, Brighton lost to West Ham. A few of the games that we lost or drew to, I was a bit wobbly about it. But yeah, I think now, like, it's been our bread and butter for a while now, so there's absolutely no way that wouldn't change it. So yeah, I'm cool with it, to be fair. I'm not too fussed about it right now. I think it works. Obviously, it is based upon very marginal gains, but you know what I'm saying? It's been practice, it's been things. So yeah, I'm not too bothered about it, if I'm honest.
They're not going to change it as well this far into the season. Do you know what I mean? It's stupid. So let's trust the process, as they say. Right, Ben. What score have we got?
This is the part the show I was dreading because I can't call it. But I will never give a score prediction against my team. Never have done, never will do, ever. So I'm going to say a very cagey game. And I'm going to say 1-0 Bobby Firmino. I think he's got a big game in him on Saturday. Don't know why. I've just got a feeling Bobby's going to be the man to, if we're going to win, to influence the game. Like, we know how mad that guy can be, especially in big games. To be fair, I think it's underrated how good he can be in big games. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll see it on Saturday. Like I mentioned, I'm going to the game, which I'm very lucky to have got a ticket for. So it's not going to be an enjoyable 90 minutes. I'll tell you that. Sitting in that stadium watching that. But these are the games we want as fans, aren't they? Like, we're here now. We're battling it out with the other best team in the world. So, is what it is. The better team will win on the night, I'm sure. So yeah, let's see if it's us. Hopefully it will be.
Squeeze, what we doing? What's the score?
Yeah, I'm never gonna predict something against my team. So yeah, I'll probably go for I'll go 2 Liverpool. I'll be confident. I'll go 2 Liverpool. I think I'll go Diaz, and I'll go Diaz and Salah.
How about that? I'm gonna vary it slightly. You can't go against your team. I've seen people go against them. I'm like, you're dumb. Anyway, I'll say 2-1 to us. I think Jesus always scores against us. I think we'll score the first. I think we'll score through Diaz. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same as you, Diaz. I think Jesus will reply because he turns. Someone said it in the comments. He turns into Prime R9. And to be fair, mate, that was his first league goal of the season against us. How annoying was that? Pissed me off. And then a Salah penalty, and he just shushes the crowd, does that yoga stuff. Do you remember he had a bad run in 18-19 and he just went mental? Yeah. Anyway, what else? I guess that's it, mate. That's been an unreal show. That's actually flown by as well. I'm kind of hot. I'm feeling kind of sweaty. I need a shower. But before we go, Squeeze, do you want to plug yourself out a bit? What you doing with your life? Whatever.
Yeah, man. You want to follow me, 9 Squeeze on Twitter. Yeah. Right now, I am writing football articles. However, I will be properly and permanently, releasing video content. I've got a surprise, so obviously you have to wait for.
Do you want to drop that?
Well, unfortunately, I can't. But yeah, just follow me and then just come follow the journey. Yeah, that's what I can say, to be fair, if if I'm honest. So yeah, man. And yeah, thank you to Ben and Omar, obviously, for inviting me on. Obviously, it's a privilege.
Pleasure, bro.
It's been a long time coming. So yeah, man. Yeah, cool show.
Cheers, bro. Mate, well, I'm sure we'll get you back on soon anyway. I'll do Ben. Do you want to? We can both. I'll plug Mr. Don Hussam for a bit because he is replacing Don Robbie as the #1 Don online on content. This guy, he runs Football Wars. I think every morning from like 11 a.m. On Twitter Spaces. He's killing the game. This guy's just got plenty of people triggered. Ben, to be honest, you're better to talk about it because you're actually on.
Football Wars is a madness. If you like debates, if you like rattling other fans, Football Wars spaces on every day. Usually morning, afternoon time. So if you're around, if you've got some free time, I've been off this week because of Easter, so I've been in there a lot. And yes, it's really funny. And Hassam's a cool guy as well. Really, really good guy. It's an honor to have him with us tonight.
Yeah, mate, he's quality. And is very entertaining, man. Respect the work rate. Yeah, and guys, check out Ben's YouTube channel, Rambling Reds. Are you at 150 yet?
I'm not, mate. I think I'm 1 off or 2 off.
Guys, go there now. Go to the Rambling Reds YouTube channel and hit the like button. This guy's trying to hit 150 subs. I want to shout out Grizz for hitting 10k. What a goat. Mate, we're flying 20. I'm saying 50k before the end of the year. So that's what we're gonna do. Something's gonna make us pop. He's gonna rattle Ty again or something.
When we win the league, mate.
I just subscribed still, so you got another subscriber.
Oh my god! Thank you, bro.
All right, guys. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Shout out the comments. Shout out asking for the super chat. We appreciate it so much. That's another couple chicken mayos to the menu tonight. So yeah, make sure to please like this video. Ben will give us the kick-ups next week. We have Alex, the Euro expert, back on, so we'll look at Champions League football next week. But yeah, smash that like button. Please, if you can, share this, whatever. We're just young men trying to make our way in this world. There's a movie quote in there somewhere. I can't remember it. But yeah, peace. Hope you lot have a great whatever you're doing, Ramadan, Easter, whatever. We love you all and see you soon.